Eddie Howe and Paul Mitchell have had massive crunching transfer talks, revealing Eddie Howe's three-man list. To Newcastle beating Real Madrid and Bayern Munich to Newcastle Kvaratskhelia, to discussing Newcastle's move for free elite striker after he told his club he wants to leave, to revealing the £40 million right-winger Newcastle is targeting. Plus, do you know the Newcastle player who was recently banned?
I don't know.
As per, join us as we discuss the latest Newcastle United news.
Let's go!
Starting off, reports indicate that Manchester United are closely monitoring the situation of Newcastle United head coach Eddie Howe, amid uncertainty surrounding Erik ten Hag's long-term future at Old Trafford. The scrutiny of ten Hag's position comes in light of a recent boardroom bust-up that has led key figures, including Sir Jim Ratcliffe, to reconsider the club's management strategy. Ten Hag's position has been precarious at times. He narrowly avoided being sacked at the end of last season after guiding the team to an FA Cup triumph, which also secured Europa League qualification for the club. However, Ten Hag's job security is now in question. Howe's impressive work at Newcastle has not gone unnoticed. With that in mind, there has been an exciting update for Newcastle fans that could help settle Eddie Howe at Newcastle. So in a development that could have significant implications for Newcastle United's future, Paul Mitchell and Eddie Howe have reportedly reached an understanding following productive talks this week. According to an exclusive report by Mark Douglas at The Eye, the discussions aim to resolve any lingering tensions after a challenging summer transfer window for the club. The relationship between Mitchell, Newcastle's sporting director, and Howe, the head coach, has been a focal point of scrutiny in recent press conferences. However, the latest reports suggest that both parties are eager to collaborate effectively moving forward. Their recent talks have been characterized as constructive dialogue, which has helped to address any previous differences in opinion. As the club looks ahead to the 2025 transfer window, Howe has expressed his support for Mitchell's recruitment strategy. This collaboration is intended to refine Newcastle's approach to transfers, and there is a shared vision for expanding the club's scouting network on a global scale. Furthermore, Mitchell aims to implement a more data-driven methodology in their scouting and recruitment processes, reflecting a modern approach to talent acquisition. Despite some concerns that Howe and Mitchell had not communicated since Mitchell's high-profile interview with local media a few weeks ago, these recent discussions signal a positive shift. Mitchell's perspective reportedly includes total confidence in Howe's leadership, which bodes well for the club's stability and cohesion. The backing from the Public Investment Fund enhances the optimism surrounding Mitchell's vision for the club. With the support of Public Investment Fund, there is a clear intent to harmonize the operations at Newcastle United, fostering an environment where both the coaching staff and recruitment team can work seamlessly together. This renewed partnership between Howe and Mitchell could help quell media speculation regarding unrest and ensure that the focus remains on building a competitive squad for the future. As Newcastle looks to navigate the complexities of the transfer market, a united front between the head coach and sporting director will be crucial in achieving their ambitions. And building on from that, according to a recent report, Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe has instructed sporting director Paul Mitchell to initiate contract negotiations for three key players: Sean Longstaff, Fabian Schär, and Dan Burn. This information, shared by Graham Bailey at HTC, indicates that Howe is eager to retain all three players, especially as their contracts are set to expire next summer. Sean Longstaff, a product of Newcastle's youth academy and a lifelong supporter of the club, is reportedly keen to sign a long-term deal to commit his future to Tyneside. However, his path may be complicated by the presence of new signings like Sandro Tonali and promising talents such as Lewis Miley, who are vying for the same right-sided midfield position. Meanwhile, both Schär and Burn have also garnered attention for contract extensions. Schär, in particular, has shown remarkable resilience and performance. Despite both players being 32, their experience and contributions on the pitch make them valuable assets. It's likely that they could expect one-year extensions rather than longer deals at this stage of their careers. It will be interesting to see how Mitchell responds to Howe's request. He may need to weigh the benefits of retaining these players against the potential need for a squad overhaul next summer. Losing any of the trio for free would be poor business, so negotiating new deals could serve to protect their market value. Additionally, contract discussions are also expected for other key players such as Anthony Gordon, whose deal runs until 2026, and Alexander Isak. This indicates a busy period ahead for Mitchell and managing director Darren Eales as Newcastle prepares for what could be a significant 2025. Talking about being busy, Newcastle United have successfully secured the signing of Georgian wonderkid Vakhtang Salia, beating out competition from prestigious clubs like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Borussia Dortmund. The 17-year-old midfielder has drawn comparisons to Napoli's Kvaratskhelia, highlighting his potential as a future star. Under the management of Eddie Howe, Newcastle has been building a reputation for identifying and nurturing under-the-radar talent from less conventional markets. Salia's signing follows his recent first-team debut for Dynamo Tbilisi, where he showcased his abilities by scoring in a Europa Conference League qualifier against FK Mornar. His performances have caught the attention of top clubs across Europe, including Arsenal, Manchester City, Barcelona, Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool, Manchester United, Paris Saint-Germain, and Atletico Madrid. Newcastle's agreement with Salia and his current club marks a significant achievement for the Magpies, especially considering the high-profile rivals they faced in the pursuit of the young talent. Salia is set to move to England when he turns 18 in August 2025, making this signing a strategic investment for the future rather than an immediate addition to the squad. Often likened to Kvaratskhelia due to his style of play, Salia excels at drifting in from the left flank, but is also capable of playing as a centre forward. This versatility further enhances his appeal as a prospect for Newcastle's ambitious project. Georgia's impressive performance at Euro 2024 showcased a new generation of footballing talent, with Salia standing out as a key figure among emerging stars like Kvaratskhelia, George Mikotadze, and Liverpool-bound goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili. As Newcastle continues to establish itself as a destination for ambitious young players, rather than just high-profile superstars, securing a player of Salia's caliber is a testament to the club's evolving strategy and vision under their Saudi Arabian ownership. This move could signal a bright future for both the player and the club, as they aim to compete at the highest levels domestically and in Europe. Then moving on, Newcastle United are also reportedly in talks to sign striker Jonathan David on a free transfer after the 24-year-old informed Lille of his desire to leave the club. This development comes as Newcastle continues to navigate challenges in their attacking lineup, particularly with Alexander Isak's recent struggles and Callum Wilson's ongoing injury issues. Isak, who enjoyed a strong finish to last season, has not been as impactful this term, highlighting concerns about Newcastle's attacking options. With Wilson sidelined, the team lacks an obvious alternative, and William Osula is viewed as a project player who isn't yet ready for consistent first-team action. According to TBR Football, Newcastle have made inquiries about David, who scored an impressive 26 goals for Lille last season. Although various Premier League clubs considered him during the summer transfer window, no formal offers were made at that time. However, David's representatives are currently in discussions with multiple clubs regarding a potential pre-contract agreement for January. The possibility of acquiring David on a free transfer has piqued the interest of several clubs, including Newcastle. Under the guidance of sporting director Paul Mitchell, Newcastle has expressed keen interest in the striker and is actively seeking details about a potential deal. It's important to note that while David would be a free agent, he would likely command a substantial contract and significant agent fees. Newcastle is not alone in this pursuit. Arsenal, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Brighton and Hove Albion, and West Ham United are also monitoring the situation. David has made it clear to Lille that he will not be renewing his contract, prompting the club to consider selling him in January to secure some financial return rather than losing him for nothing. In addition to English clubs, David has attracted attention from international teams such as Juventus, Atalanta, Marseille, Borussia Dortmund, and RB Leipzig, ensuring that he will have several options should he decide to leave Lille. Given Newcastle's current attacking situation, David could serve as an ideal replacement for Wilson, especially considering his better injury record compared to both Isak and Wilson. The potential for David to provide consistent availability and goal-scoring prowess makes him a compelling target for the Magpies as they look to bolster their squad for the remainder of the season. Then moving on, Newcastle United have reportedly entered the race to sign rising Burnley star Luca Koleosho. Following the winger's impressive start to the championship season, The 20-year-old Italy under-21 international has captured the attention of several clubs after showcasing his potential since joining Burnley. Koleosho was signed from Espanyol for an initial fee of £2.6 million in the summer of 2023. However, his value has skyrocketed, with Burnley now reportedly valuing him at around £40 million. This hefty price tag was significant enough to deter Wolves, who had previously seen a £20 million bid rejected this summer. While Wolves remain interested in Koleosho, Newcastle appears to be taking a more proactive approach in their pursuit of the young winger. According to reports from Fabrizio Romano and ITC, the Magpies view Koleosho as a potential replacement for Miguel Almiron. The Paraguayan international has found himself lower in the pecking order at St. James's Park, behind Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes and Jacob Murphy. Complicating matters, Newcastle's proposed move for Almiron to Major League Soccer side Charlotte FC fell through in August, as the MLS club's reported offer of £7 million was deemed insufficient by the Magpies. Almiron, who still has 2 years left on his contract, has played just 2 minutes of Premier League football this season and was an unused substitute in the recent 3-1 defeat to Fulham. Commenting on Luca Koleosho, the current Bayern Munich but then Burnley manager Vincent Kompany, after a game against Arsenal in November 2023, said, "He's just a fearless player. It doesn't really matter who he's up against. He was up against a top fullback against Arsenal, but he's done it in every single game because in every game he's managed to create and make something happen." Current Burnley boss Parker, recently after the win over Leeds, also said that he's a top player. He needs refining for sure. There's a lot of work to be done. He's still a young boy and only really had half a season last year, and you can see elements to his game. He's the last on the training field at times, always wanting to do extra. He's got certain attributes and qualities that, like we've seen today, are deadly. He'll be massive for us this year. He'll be a real threat. We'll keep improving and working with him as well, which will help. Koleosho's potential move to Newcastle, however, will not be easy. The Clarets have made it clear they value him highly, and the young winger recently signed a new 5-year contract that runs until 2029. This commitment to Burnley indicates that the club intends to keep him as part of their future plans, making any potential transfer negotiations more complex. In addition to Newcastle and Wolves, several other Premier League clubs, including Aston Villa, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and Crystal Palace, have been monitoring Koleosho's progress closely. However, given Burnley's valuation and the player's recent contract extension, it is clear that prying him away from Turf Moor will require a significant investment. As Newcastle continues to explore options for strengthening their squad, Luca Koleosho represents an exciting opportunity for the club to secure a promising young talent, especially if they are unable to offload Almiron or find other suitable alternatives. Then moving on, Newcastle United are also reportedly keen on signing 17-year-old Barcelona star Marc Bernal, as the club continues its strategy of identifying young talents with first-team potential. This initiative aims to build a strong foundation of youth players capable of representing the Magpies at the highest level in the future. Spanish journalist Moises Llorens has indicated that both Newcastle and Manchester United have taken an interest in the talented defensive midfielder, who has recently made his way into Hansi Flick's first team, logging 3 appearances this season. Bernal's current contract with Barcelona runs until 2026 and includes a release clause of €20 million, approximately £16.5 million. This clause could be particularly appealing for clubs like Newcastle and Manchester United, who are always on the lookout for promising players to enhance their squads. However, Barcelona is keen to retain the services of the young midfielder, and Lawrence suggests that the club intends to keep Bernal. While Newcastle or Manchester United could theoretically trigger the release clause, they would still need to persuade the player to leave the Catalan Giants, which may be a challenging task at this point. Adding complexity to the situation, Bernal is currently sidelined due to a serious knee injury, which is expected to keep him out for a significant portion of the season. This injury makes a potential transfer in January highly unlikely, as both clubs may be hesitant to invest in a player who will have missed extensive playing time. Looking ahead, it remains uncertain whether Newcastle or Manchester United would be willing to take the risk of pursuing Bernal in the summer, especially if he has not had sufficient recovery time to showcase his skills. Meanwhile, Barcelona is reportedly working on offering Bernal a new contract to secure his future at the club. As Newcastle aims to bolster its squad with young talent, the situation surrounding Marc Bernal could evolve. but the combination of his injury and Barcelona's intent to retain him complicates any immediate moves. The coming months will be crucial in determining whether Newcastle can successfully navigate these challenges to secure the promising midfielder. Then, in another development, Newcastle United's young defender Miodrag Pivas has faced a challenging start to his loan spell at Willem II, having been unable to make his debut due to a work permit issue. The 19-year-old joined the Magpies from Serbian top-flight side FK Jedinstvo over the summer for a nominal fee, with the club subsequently sending him on loan to the Dutch side for the entire 2024-25 season. Pivas completed his transfer on September 2nd, but was unable to join his new teammates immediately. Instead, he had to report to the embassy in Belgrade to finalize the necessary formalities regarding his visa. Since Serbia is not part of the European Union, players must obtain a GVVA, combined residence and work permit, if they intend to spend more than 3 months in the Netherlands. As a result of this visa requirement, Pivas was effectively banned from training with Willem II for over 2 weeks, causing a delay in his integration into the team. This situation was certainly frustrating for the young defender, who was eager to kickstart his career in the Eredivisie. Fortunately, Pivas has recently received the necessary approvals from the relevant authorities and was able to link up with Willem II last Thursday. Sources close to the club are optimistic that he will make his first appearance on the pitch next month, allowing him to finally showcase his skills after a period of uncertainty. This loan move is seen as an important step in Pivas' development, providing him with valuable playing time in a competitive league. Newcastle United will be hoping that the experience gained during his time in the Netherlands will aid his progress and potentially bolster their defensive options in the future. With the work permit issues now resolved, both Pivas and Willem II can look forward to the upcoming matches with renewed optimism. Speaking on his move, Pivas said, "For my development, I mainly have to train and play minutes at the highest level. Willem II is known for giving young players a chance. I hope that I can gain experience here and then take that with me to my higher goal, playing in the Premier League." Then in other news, the Carabao Cup third-round tie between AFC Wimbledon and Newcastle has been rescheduled due to flooding around the Cherry Red Record Stadium. The match, which was set to kick off on Tuesday, has now been rescheduled to take place on Tuesday, October 1st at St. James's Park. And if you would like to know the simple thing that can fix Newcastle's problem, which is deeper than you think, click the video link on the screen now.